Hey guys, how's it going? I'm Lorraine and welcome to my channel. Now just before I dive in there and pull your cards for today, I'd just like to say I am an experienced and professional, holistic and spiritual counsellor and mentor, and I offer 100% money back guarantee for image readings, tarot readings, also the programs, as well as spiritual and holistic counselling, mentorship, plus advice to help you with union with self and union with your person. And I also offer astrology birth charts. Just check out the details in the description box below this video for more information. So let's dive in there and let's see what messages the cards have for you, for both you and your person's love journey thus far. And let's see what messages the cards have for you about your person. Right, so let's go, let's do this. Okay. All right. So we're going to come in with what's going on now between you and your person, or on a separate level as well. Here guys, what you may be going through, what your person could very well be going through at this point in time, what they're dealing with, what you're dealing with in terms of the now. All right, so you're coming in with the World card. Okay, the World card is Aquarius, okay, and it is ruled by Uranus, and Uranus rules your 11th house. All right guys, innovation, change, technology. It can also talk about networking, social groups, social networks as well. All right, when you're coming in with your 11th house. And at this point in time, you have Pluto in Aquarius in your 11th house here. Well, in Aquarius, I should say. And Uranus is actually in Gemini. And it's your 3rd house, okay guys, and your 3rd house is ruled by Mercury, and your 3rd house is about communication, but it does talk about, in terms of communication, I would see, I also talk about it as being patterns of thinking, the mind here. And it comes in as the way in which you've been raised and taught to think. It can be seen as a program in a sense here. Now there's 2 ways in which I could break that card down for you. Here, the World card, I can, alright guys, it is coming, well what I initially got here is, this is the last step, because coming in with your 11th house, because after that would be your 12th house. Alright guys, and this is coming in as the last step here. This is before completion, in a sense here guys, completion of a cycle here. It can be seen as, I get here revisiting here guys, a past of course, but it's about past relationships here. with the World card coming in. I'm going to talk more to that, guys, because you also see Venus at this point in time is at the cusp between Gemini and Cancer. So it's on the cusp of between your third house and your fourth house here. It's at the end of your third house, and it's also at the beginning, but it's right there, right at the beginning. Okay, Venus. And your fourth house is about your private life, Cancer. Okay, and Cancer is ruled by the moon. The moon rules your fourth house. All right. So you're definitely coming in with relationships here. You're actually coming in with the cycle, of course. All right, I'm going to leave that one there, okay, guys? And now you're also coming in with the Hermit card. The Hermit card is Virgo. Virgo is once again ruled by Mercury. And Mercury rules your sixth house also of health, well-being. It's physical health here as well. Physical well-being too here, guys, as well as mental health and well-being and work when you're coming in with the Hermit card here. Now you have Mars in Virgo at this point in time, and you also have the South Node. Yeah, and the Moon is transiting Virgo too. Okay, guys. See, it is coming in as some kind of completion, some kind of end, but it comes in as one more step before the completion is done, before the cycle is finished here. All right, guys, because there's something new coming in is what I'm getting, especially if you're coming in with the South Node here. It's like wrapping it up, tying up loose ends. And when you're coming in with Mars, you see Mars rules your first house. And your first house is all about oneself. Your physique, once again, you can see the connection between Virgo and Aries in a sense, because you're coming in with your physique, your body. You're also coming in with your emotions here, understanding, knowledge about oneself here. All right, guys, your actions, your behavior. There is something here for both you and your person. There is something here that you want to know, is what I'm getting. There is curiosity here. I think the right word is curiosity. See, what it talks about there in your reading, it's coming in as, so is this the right decision for me? Is this the right decision? See, that's that last step is what I'm getting, that completion before the cycle is completed here, this past cycle, because it can also, like I said, it's about wrapping up, tying up loose ends here between you and your person, or for your person, before they take the next step here in your reading. because the South Node also talks about here guys, you've already, you've mastered, or you're an expert, or you've succeeded. There's success here in this past cycle. And coming in with the Hermit card for both you and your person, there is deep thoughts. You're deep in your thoughts here as to, do I want to continue this? Because where is it going to go? Okay, the success. It comes in like this. This is what I would liken it to, guys. It comes in as when you started the cycle, you had goals, you had plans here, long-term goals. Well, this is where I want to be. These are the things that I would like to have in my life in terms of material possessions is the best way in which I can say it here. A home, a car, a job, a career, all right? And you work your ass off for it, and you love every minute of it, okay? Because yes, of course, you would face obstacles and challenges when you come in with the cycle, but these obstacles and challenges are all about the betterment of you, being a better version of yourself here. You're also come in with transformative changes in your life, all right, guys? Like I said, in terms of your body, your physique, in terms of the way in which you think, because that all comes in by way of experiences here, and also interaction with other people here. Social, I want to say socializing in a sense here, social interaction, but it also comes in as what have you learnt from that, and how has those interactions, those experiences here helped to shape the person that you are today. Now, what it's talking about here in terms of the Hermit card, like I said, there is deep introspection, deep thought happening here as to, okay, where am I going to go to next? And what could really be a positive coming in here, guys, is that you want something different. Your person wants to try something new now, and here, guys, to grow something new, to invest in something new, to learn, to put it into action here. See, with both those cards coming in, especially the World card, what it can talk about there in your reading is gaining the confidence here, to step outside of the box, to try something here that you may not have been eager or had that self-confidence, self-esteem in the past to try and do. But now that you have reached a certain point in your life, this is both you and your person, there's that confidence within yourself to, it's like go it alone when you're coming in with the Hermit card here. See, what the Hermit card can also talk about here in your reading, like I said, tying up loose ends, but really it comes in as a serious, asking some serious questions here. All right, guys? What is it that I need to, I want to say end, coming in with the cycle here, what is it that I need to end out, and what is it that I am going to take with me into the new cycle here? And it does talk about relationships in a sense here, guys. Yeah. I actually see both those cards as being quite positive, to be quite honest, because you're also looking at your patterns and habits here, and within this introspection, within this deep thoughts, these deep thoughts that both you and your person are going through in terms of transformative changes. You're coming in with innovation, how you have changed over time and adapted to a modernized way of living in a sense here, guys. Okay, now I do. I actually think that this is quite positive, because what it also talks about here in your reading, you are coming in with here wisdom in a sense. Learning here. See, that's all part of this deep thought, learning from the past, learning your lessons here. See, you're not ignoring it or avoiding certain situations or experiences that you had been through. You're actually looking at it here, guys, and learning from it. Because with the Hermit card coming in, it can also talk about planning here. Yeah. Goal setting might be a better way of saying it. Yeah. And the small steps you need to take in order to achieve the goal, in order to get to the long-term goal here. Coming in the way that you are. Yeah, because it is all about oneself here. This is like saying, okay, I've got so far, now I want to go further. It can come in as reinventing yourself in a sense here, guys. Because you're not the same person you were when you started the cycle that you're at the tail end of. This is both you and your person. Okay, we'll take Temperance here, guys. It wouldn't be a card I'd like to ignore. Alright. Well, none of them are, to be quite honest. So thank you. Alright, let's go. So we're going to come in with obstacles and challenges. That's definitely the now here. So we'll come in with obstacles and challenges. Alright, guys. Alright, so like once again, you have Temperance. You have the Four of Swords, and you have the Four of Pentacles here. So when you're coming in with Temperance, you're coming in with Sagittarius here, guys. All right, Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter, and Jupiter rules your 9th house. It does come in as a higher level of learning and thinking, especially coming in with the Hermit here, because the Hermit can be seen as a student. All right, guys, and coming in with Jupiter, Sagittarius, what that can talk about there in your reading, it talks about what you have learned thus far and how it has influenced the way that you think and feel, especially about yourself, but also about the world as a whole, how you fit into that world. Here, guys, how the world, got the World card, lives and breathes in a sense here. Yeah, it's quite a big card to get, because it does come in with a higher level of thinking. It's clarity here. It's connecting the dots in a sense here, guys. Yeah, it can be seen as the nitty gritty, the finer details of things here, guys. I know, you know, one way in which I would be able to explain that better is that you know that the sky is blue. Now, coming in with this card here, what it talks about here in your reading is now you know why and how the sky is blue. And actually, you will also learn about colours here. And how colours are created. It can come in that way. Alright, guys, as opposed to painting colours and that. It's about colours in your environment and how it comes to be. It's big here. However, let me keep going with this one here. Yeah, there's a big emphasis here, guys, on yourself, on you here, your private life here. Coming in with Jupiter. See, what it can talk about there in your reading is that it's not just your home you feel comfortable in, feel relaxed in terms of Jupiter, because Jupiter is also about expansion. Yep, the bigger picture in a sense. And what I'm picking up here, guys, is that you're actually quite comfortable in a few settings here. You're not so, it's either you are or you are wanting to be here. You're not so, you don't isolate yourself when it comes to people, places and things here. You're feeling more, I want to say, inclined to join in here, to be a part of it when you're coming in with Jupiter. Yeah, of course, it can talk about, like I said, obstacles and challenges here. See, because what it talks about here in your reading is that the Four of Swords, the Four of Pentacles, and Jupiter is the last step, Temperance. Remember, and I spoke about there's one more step before the completion, a completion of a cycle here. And that's definitely what I'm getting here in your reading, because with the Four of Swords, I see the Four of Swords as healing after heartbreak. I think that is a really, well, I feel a beautiful card to get. It talks about renewal here. It can talk about rebirth here. All right, guys. It can also come in as the Sun card and the Star card here. The Four of Swords. Especially if we're talking about oneself here, guys. All right, and the commitment that's involved in doing that. Especially when you're coming in with healing from heartbreak. Because what may happen, and what could be happening at this point in time, is that when we do go through, either it's both you and your person, when you do go through heartbreak and loss, and of course it's a challenge and an obstacle to actually cope and manage that heartbreak and loss, and most people will either drink alcohol, smoke drugs, or you come in with patterns and habits, and you come in with addictions here because it's easier, because it helps, and that's how you see it. Oh, it helps me to sleep, it helps me to deal with getting up and just being just living and carrying on with certain things I need to do in my life, mundane activities. So I need the drink, I need the drugs here. It can also, you know, because you could also come in with cleaning, you could also come in with watching TV, watching the internet here, or YouTube, or whatever that is for yourself. Because you also come in with mood and mind altering substances here, something that can take your mind away from that heartbreak and loss, but know that it's only just an avoidance. That's all it is, to actually deal with and work through some really hardcore issues here, guys, feelings, patterns of thinking, actions here. That it does prove to be a struggle. However, the drugs and the alcohol, well, you have a tendency to think here, well, you get into that mentality that it's okay, it's working. But what tends to happen is that you need it more and more. And so what turns into maybe once a day here could actually increase, and you end up drinking more in the day. You come away from just having a glass here, guys, to having 6 glasses, and the next minute it's a whole bottle, and then that's the same with drugs here, guys, and cleaning here, and gambling, watching the TV here, guys, yeah, is that drug that pattern and habit actually becomes your life. It's actually part of your reality. You've brought it into your reality here. It becomes a part of your everyday life. Here, I want to make sure I touch on this because you are coming in with that last step. Here, there's like one more phase, in a sense, stage here before the cycle is completed. To end out a past cycle. And if this is the case, guys, book an image reading with me, as I'm not just a tarot reader. If you want to know the difference between the two, just an image reading and a tarot reading, just check out the details in the description box below this video. And what I would also like to suggest or say at this point in time is that this could very well lead into counselling. Now, I'm completely booked out at this point in time for counselling, holistic and spiritual counselling. However, I do have a team and we all follow the same framework here. And we actually do counselling pretty much the same, if not exact. And if you are willing and if you are wanting to, I can refer you, because each person in the team of the New Earth community have their own expertise. See, in terms of obstacles and challenges, I get here, this is the last step. This is what needs to happen here. To be ready, to get you ready here. See, this is coming in as with union with self and union with your person, which could very well be the last step here, guys. Well, the new step here. Well, you know, actually union with self is a cycle in itself as well. All right, guys? And then you have the Four of Pentacles here. Okay? And what could be happening there in your reading is that you may not see what needs to happen. You may actually see it a different way here. Because when you are going through heartbreak and loss, and you do have healing from heartbreak here, guys, okay, with the Four of Swords, well, you have a tendency just to put your head down and plow through it and work here, guys. Yeah. That Four of Pentacles is actually coming in as what you're holding on to here. What you do to avoid and ignore what's really going on with you. And this could very well be the same for your person. All right, let's go. Let's do this. So let's come in with the potential outcome. All right, guys, so you were coming in with the Page of Cups. You have the Three of Swords here in your reading, and you're coming in with the Eight of Wands. Here, potential outcome here, guys. Yeah. So when you're coming in with the Page of Cups, so what it talks about there in your reading is that I do see it as a flirt. All right, guys, that's one way in which I can see the Page of Cups. It can also come in as a sincere expression here in your reading. But what I get there with that Page of Cups, here it's definitely coming in as a perception. Potentially here, a perception of love here in your reading. And here it can be seen as a young person, but it can also talk about being young at heart here. And what it can also talk about here, guys, like I said, a perception of love here. And that's where it is here for both you and your person when you're coming in with the Page here. See, when you come in with the Page, and you know, the positive thing about the Page is the want to explore, the want to learn, to explore love, loving somebody, loving oneself here. That's what I get with the Page, and that's how it's coming in here in your reading. See, it's about, I want to know what love is. I want to feel love here. I want to know what true and real love is. How to actually love somebody. That's what it's saying. But when you're coming in with the Page of Cups, what it can also talk about there in your reading is how you see yourself, how you love yourself, how your person sees themselves here. And this is why I'm saying it does come in as a perception. Now, coming in with the Three of Swords, what it talks about there in your reading. So you've got the Four of Swords, the Three of Swords here. See, once again, you're still coming in here. See, this person you do love each other when the way in which it's coming in, okay? But you're coming in with expectations here, coming in with the Page. I think all pages have expectations here, guys. Yeah. That things are going to go a certain way. That's what it's talking about here. So once again, we've got to come back to the obstacles and challenges. That's what the crux of your reading is. That's what the underlying currents here factor. All right, guys, that needs to be addressed at this point in time is your perception of love, because you're actually coming in with how to love when you don't know what love is. Yeah, of course, you could see that as an apology, but what it talks about there in your reading, it comes in as, I don't see it as guilt. I don't see it that way here, guys. It comes in as, here in your reading, an expectation here. Yeah, that it's not going to happen here. So it's a want to, most definitely here in your reading, but the want here in your reading is a full-blown relationship. It's actually coming in as settling down, the white picket fence. All of that's coming in with the Page of Cups and the Three of Swords here. But what it also talks about here in your reading is that if this isn't dealt with, then it is going to come into, this is the potential outcome. And you also have the Eight of Wands here, and the Eight of Wands is wisdom here, guys. I did talk about that in your reading. So what is the correct action when you're coming in with the Eight of Wands? Here it can come in as fast communication here. You're right, it is, well, you know, people do say, some say that it, apology here. I'm not too sure about that one here, guys. See, what it talks about here, all right, guys, is that if it doesn't go the way in which you had hoped, this is both you and your person, then the apology is going to come in. But it's not going to be, I'm sorry. It's going to come in as why? Why not? I like you. All of that kind of stuff's going to come in here, guys. It's going to be that kind of way. Remember, this is a page. So let's come in with the advice. Alright, so you're coming in with the King of Wands. Oh, now you guys are here in your reading. So, see what I get there in your reading. Okay, so the King of Wands, very attractive is this person here. Very charismatic. Once this person's made their mind up here in your reading, you know, that's it. Here you're coming in with, I get here in your reading, this person has been hurt before. Alright, the King of Wands. You know, this person may even have a physical, how would you say that? It's not that. You know, there may be something, a physical, I want to say, they may have gone through something here that may have left, that may have made it quite hard for this person to get around here. Do you understand what I'm saying? They may have had a stroke or something along those lines. Well, how your reading's coming in. That's what I'm actually picking up here. Or something like that here, guys. Alright, I am going to leave it there. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you later. Bye.